Hi everyone, I'm Bob, a test prep expert, now focused on helping future educators pass their certification exams with Study.com. Today, we're going to navigate through the Praxis Core Mathematics exam, test code 5733. In this video, we'll explore 1. What the test entails and how to prepare effectively. 2. The most essential concepts you'll encounter. 3. A few practice questions to get you comfortable. Let's get started. Let's start with the number and quantity section, which forms the biggest part of your exam at 36%, translating to about 20 questions. This section includes understanding magnitude, operations, fractions, and ratios. Place value. Place value is all about comprehending what a number signifies. Questions often involve place value charts. For example, consider the digit 7 in the numbers 5,237, 7,852, and 82,407. In each case, the value of 7 varies based on its position. Operations. Next, you'll need to master adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and using parentheses and exponents correctly. Remember PEMDAS: parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. If you have trouble remembering it, just use the acronym, Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. This includes working with fractions, decimals, and negative numbers. Let's go through this sample problem. Simplify the expression 200 minus 3 times the quantity 6 minus 2 raised to the third power plus 10. Use PEMDAS to solve this. 1. Parentheses. 6 minus 2 equals 4. 2. Exponents. 4 to the third power equals 64. 3. Multiplication. 3 times 64 equals 192. 4. Subtraction and addition. 200 minus 192 plus 10 equals 18. Fractions and ratios. You'll also need how to convert fractions to decimals and vice versa. For instance, converting a fraction to a decimal that represents the same value is essential. Let's move on to data interpretation, representation, statistics, and probability. This section accounts for 32% of your exam, or about 18 questions. Data interpretation. You'll deal with measures of central tendency like mean, median, mode, and range. Let's find the mean, median, mode, and range for this sample problem. Given heights 155, 164, 155, 168, 158. Mean. To find the mean or average, add up all the values and divide by the total number of values. First, I'll find the sum of the values by doing 155 plus 164 plus 155 plus 168 plus 158. That equals 800. Next, I'll divide by 5 because there are 5 heights given. 800 divided by 5 equals 160, so the mean is 160. Median. You can remember the definition by thinking about the median on a highway. The median in driving is the middle of the road, and the median in math is the number in the middle. Find the median by listing the numbers in order from smallest to largest. 155, 155, 158, 164, 168. 158 is right in the middle and is the median. If there are two numbers in the middle, find the mean of those two numbers to determine the median. Mode. If you're into fashion, you might know the word mode is referring to fashionable. In math, mode has a similar meaning. It refers to the number that appears most often, or you could even say the most fashionable number. In this list of numbers, 155 appears twice, and the other numbers only appear once, so 155 is the mode. Finally, range, which refers to the spread or difference between the numbers. Find the range by subtracting the smallest number from the largest number. So 168 minus 155 gives a range of 13. Data representation. You'll need to represent data using various graphs and plots. Bar graphs, pie charts, scatter plots, etc. On the exam, you'll interpret data based on various graphs. In this graph, you might need to determine how many students play drums. 3. Probabilities. Probability is calculated as the number of successful outcomes over the total number of outcomes. For example, the probability of rolling a 5 on a 6-sided die is 1 out of 6, since there are 6 sides, but the 5 only appears on one side. Lastly, we have algebra and geometry, which together make up the remaining 32% of your exam, or about 18 questions. These are two big topics in math, and I'll go into a lot more detail and practice problems in other videos on Praxis Core. Algebra. Questions on algebra cover equations and expressions, word problems, linear and quadratic equations, and properties like the commutative property. Here's an example. Maria is making cookies. She uses 2 sticks of butter per batch and wants to make multiple batches. Write an expression to help her figure out how much butter she needs. I'll use the variable b to represent the number of batches. To calculate the amount of butter Maria will need, she should multiply the number of batches by the 2 sticks needed for each batch, or 2b. Geometry. In geometry, you need to know basic shapes and their properties and be able to work with them, such as finding the area or perimeter. Sample problem. To find the area of a shape composed of a triangle and a rectangle. The rectangle has sides of 5 and 4, so its area is 5 by 4 square units. The triangle has a base of 4 and a height of 3, so its area is 1/2 of 4 times 3 square units. Adding both areas gives 20 plus 6 equals 26 square units. Now, let's go through some practice questions to see how these concepts are tested. Question 1, place value. What is the value of the 7 in the number 432,769? The 7 is in the tenths place, so its value is 7/10 or 0.7. Question 2, PEMDAS. Simplify 200 plus 3 times the quantity of 6 minus 2 raised to the 4th power plus 10. Following PEMDAS, the correct answer is 978. Question 3, fractions to percentages. A class is learning about ratios and percentages. If 15% of 800 people at a football game are supporting the visiting team, how many people is that? 15% of 800 is 0.15 times 800 equals 120. Question 4, data interpretation. What is the mean number of inches of snowfall per month from November to March, given the values 5, 7, 9, 8, and 1? The mean is 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 divided by 5 equals 6. Question 5, probability. In a class of 20, 4 students have not done their math homework. What is the probability that the teacher randomly calls in a student who has completed their homework to demonstrate a homework problem for the class? There are 16 students out of 20 who did do their math homework. So the probability is 16 divided by 20, which is 0.8 or 80%. And that's a wrap. If you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up. For more in-depth study materials, check out study.com's Praxis Core Math Prep Guide. The guide combines video lessons on every topic on the Praxis Core Math exam, as well as thousands of practice questions, so you can build confidence for test day. Click the link below to get started. Thanks for watching, and happy studying.